People think it costs you money to do an estate plan. I'm going to prove to you, you make money by doing the right estate plan. Hi, I'm Paul Mauro, Smart Financial. Everybody over 50 got some assets, have some family, have some money they care about. He needs an estate plan. So let's talk about the basics of how an estate plan makes you money. If you have a will that says, send my money to these people I like, in most states, this is a go to probate card. So if you have that piece of paper, it's going to cost you money. If you have a trust, generic trust of any kind, they're exempt from probate. It's going to save you many thousands of dollars in probate fees, whether you die or you get sick. It is the number one recommendation. Now, there's about 75 different types of trusts. I'm going to go over 4 of them today. So let's talk about number 1. If you have a state where there's death taxes, inheritance taxes, etc., and that would be New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, a lot of other places, you need to use trusts to avoid death tax. Perfect example. In Massachusetts, you can pass $4 million, $2 million each to your kids and pay no death tax. Without a trust, just leaving it to the children, they're going to pay $200,000. I do discourage you from actually doing documents online to any kind of legal AI software. I mean, that's quite dangerous. It's great to get research. Look up probate. If you can read anything good about probate, let me know. It's the same probate whether you get very sick or very dead. So, worst document is a will. Greatest document to save money is a basic trust. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or expensive, but you want to avoid the probate system legally. Now, the second best is if you're a couple to have 2 trusts so you can avoid death tax and do great long-term care planning. Let's just say that you happen to have an insurance policy in your life. Some time years ago, the kids were little, you had mortgages, bills, whatever, and you have like a $500,000 insurance policy, and you've been paying it and you own it and you're going to keep it until the end of your life, and you think your family is actually going to get that $500,000. Well, let me give you some bad news. Life insurance is included in your puddle of stuff that's taxed when you die, no matter where it is in the world. And so the number one trust document to take taxable property and move it off the books is called a life insurance trust. Then the policy is exempt from being included in your estate. There's a lot of rules and regulations. I'm oversimplifying it a little bit, but I want you to understand this is not heavy lifting. All right, next, let's do a family limited partnership or some type of ADU trust. If you do a family limited partnership or what we call an ADU trust, additional dwelling unit, movement is huge. It means that you can basically build a piece of property, use it for aging parents, turn it into a little rental property. But also, if you add that ADU to your kid's house, you add it to grandma and grandpa's house, you do a joint venture, you need to have the right legal documents so that when everybody's passed away, all that value accrues tax-free to the last survivor. And you do that using the family limited partnership. So talk to your professional team if you're going to do joint venture real estate. Also, I will tell you, a lot of folks are using LLCs because they're cheap to form online, and a limited liability company or LLC can also work. But those 2 documents don't cost you money, they make you money, and they save you money. Now let's talk about one more kind. I actually think you should bring all of your greatest feelings about charitable intent forward to today and use one of the devices that's available to you to do good while doing well. You make money, you're leaving somebody money. So you can set up a trust today, put money into that thing, get a big, fat, enormous tax deduction. Leave that trust in existence for either 5 or 7 years or life. You get to design it. That trust can either pay you money every year or can make the contributions to charity. I personally like the idea of loaning money to your charitable trust, put that money in there, get a big fat tax deduction, use that tax deduction to maybe do Roth conversion or get money out of your IRA or something else. Everybody can use a couple $100,000 tax deduction. That money gets invested by your really good investment advisor. At the end of 5 or 7 years, all that money comes back tax-free. So let me just give you an example. We did a case, we put $150,000 into one of these trusts, and it was giving out 5% a year to charities. What does that mean? That means every year it was sending out checks for $5,500 to churches and charities and stuff. You get a big fat tax deduction up front for doing that. And at the end of 5 years, you get all this money back. This trust doesn't cost you money. It makes you money, big time. So those are called charitable trusts. I actually suggest you don't particularly set up money to go directly to any institution, but I do believe that you should set up money to go into your own donor advised fund at mortality. It's just a personal decision. I want you to do directed giving, which is set up trusts, not indirect giving, just leaving your money to the tax guys. These are just 4 trust plans that make you money, that don't cost you money. You should spend a few dollars to set them up. But if you spend $2,000 on a trust plan and it saves you $200,000, that's about the best rate of return you can get on any investment. Staying on top of the estate plans that make you money, that's just part of the art of being smart.